This is TBT News Headlines. I'm Tyrone Bowman. Wisconsin parade suspect to be charged with 5 counts of homicide. The January 6th committee subpoenas Roger Stone, Alex Jones, and other Trump allies. As another pandemic Thanksgiving Day nears, families navigate plans with unvaccinated relatives. In an Afghan hospital, dying children pay the price as Western aid is switched off. Judge exonerates Grovin IV in notorious rape case from 1949. According to the Washington Post, law enforcement identified a suspect who allegedly drove for a Christmas parade after fleeing from a knife fight in Waukesha, Wisconsin on Sunday, killing at least 5 people and injuring at least 48. A violent end to a festive scene where children danced in the street and a marching band played jingle bells. A law enforcement official told the Washington Post that suspect Darrell E. Brooks Jr., 39, was at the scene of a reported knife fight, then sped away in the red SUV. When police arrived at that scene, Brooks was allegedly behind the wheel when they drove into the parade route. Authorities identified Brooks as the, quote, lone subject, close quote, during a Monday afternoon news conference, adding he drove right through the barricades and the officers at the scene. So this is a very, very, very tragic story. For more information, you'll have to look at this in detail. CNN Politics today, the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th riot issued a new round of subpoenas on Monday to 5 of former President Donald Trump's allies directly involved in planning Stop the Steal rallies, including longtime Republican operative Roger Stone and conspiracy theorist Alex Jones. The latest batch of subpoenas indicates the committee continues to focus, in part, on organizers and funding of the Stop the Steal rallies that took place on January 5th and 6th, as well as earlier rallies in the months leading up to the U.S. Capitol attack. Also subpoenaed by the committee Monday, Dustin Stockton and Jennifer Lawrence, key players in the Stop the Steal movement after the election. According to World News, this is a very, very, very tragic story. On Helmand's Bleak's wards, dying children pay the price as Western aid to Afghanistan is switched off. The staff are unpaid. The drugs are running out. The Risky Hospital can only watch as tiny infants succumb to treatable diseases. A judge exonerates Grovin IV in notorious rape case from 1949. A judge Monday restored the constitutional right to presumption of innocence for the Grovin IV, granting a prosecutor's motion to throw out indictments and convictions that ruined the lives of the 4 black men accused 7 decades ago of raping a 17-year-old white girl. Calling it an unimaginable privilege, Circuit Judge Heidi Davis cleared the names of Charles Greenlee, Walter Irving, Samuel Shepard, and Ernest Thomas, all now dead, to correct one of Florida's greatest miscarriages of justice from the Jim Crow era. This is a glory hallelujah day, said Shepard's cousin, Beverly Robinson, at a news conference afterward. The judge's decision was met with applause from 2 courtrooms full of observers, one group watching in person, one watching a live stream of the hearing. Carol Greenland, daughter of Charles Greenland, wept and fell into the arms of family members outside the courtroom. All my life, I felt as if a cloud hung over me, she said later. It's gone now. I'm not a rapist's daughter. And this will be our final news story for the TBT News Update. According to Politico, Capitol riot suspects court hearing turns to potential criminal charge for Trump. The judge and lawyers discuss whether the then president's pressure on Vice President Mike Pence could have amounted to obstruction. Could former President Donald Trump be charged with a crime for urging then Vice President Mike Pence not to certify the electoral vote rally? That appeared to be the thrust of a question U.S. District Court Judge Carol Nichols posed on Monday at a court hearing for one of the hundreds of Americans charged in the Capitol riot. The judge and both sides in the case found themselves debating the scope of a law being wielded against many January 6 defendants that makes it a felony to corruptly interfere with an official federal government proceeding and carries a penalty of up to 20 years in prison. The statute is typically applied to court-related conduct like threatening judges, jurors, or witnesses. However, prosecutors have levied the obstruction charges against about a third of the roughly 700 January 6 defendants over their alleged efforts to disrupt the electoral vote tally that Congress was undertaking when a crowd loyal to Trump broke through police lines and forced their way into the Capitol. According to NBC News, a Southwest employee was fatally shot outside Texas airport on Monday, the 22nd of November. A Southwest Airlines employee was fatally shot while leaving work. In a statement, Southwest said, "This is a heartbreaking, tragic loss. No arrests have been made." And in related news in Pennsylvania, Trump-backed Senate candidate in Pennsylvania suspends the campaign. Purnell's estranged wife had testified about abuse she says she and occasionally their children endured from him. Sean Purnell, a candidate for Senate in Pennsylvania endorsed by former President Donald Trump, has suspended his campaign after a judge ruled Monday in favor of his estranged wife in a court fight over custody of their 3 children. His estranged wife, Laurie Sneo, had testified about abuse she says she and occasionally their children endured from him. "I strongly disagree with the ruling today, and I'm devastated by the decision," Parnell said in a statement Monday, adding, "There is nothing more important to me than my children, and while I plan to ask the court to reconsider, I can't continue with the Senate campaign." There's a lot going on, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, a lot's going on. According to the Wall Street Journal, and this news story is like, it might hit home. I don't know. I don't think I'll read that one. Well, this is the TBT News Update. I'm Tyrone Bowman.